Welcome back to my first round of GPM. I'm playing my super scuffed 8-sack deck after the nerfs against Herzi's graveyard combo deck. Herzi's deck is kind of like Living End, except instead of playing Living End, you get your stuff back by reanimating it, and instead of killing your opponent with a bunch of creatures and passing the turn, you just give them haste and trample. Anyways, I'm on the play, so this hand's unkeepable. I'm mulliganing. This hand's also not great. Yeah, I can't keep this. And this hand's also not great. Why do I keep getting one-landers? Okay, so I have to keep this. I mean, like, this is not great. So 4 cards. What 4 cards do I get? On the other lands I can get, I need 1 Conjure. Kyona's not great, so yeah, that's my keep. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. But I can still get there if they have no disruption and I draw a land. Because they can Ancestral Council, fetch the Lurk or whatever, and then go up to Fitting Oracle, Abound Conjure. That probably gets me somewhere. Is that enough to Kyone to Conjure? I'm not counting. Okay, I drew a Fitting Oracle. That's not great. Well, I need to get all 3 colors, right? Yeah, I have no idea what lands I'm going to draw, so I need all 3 colors. And I just pass. So I'm hoping to draw a land next turn. If I don't draw a land, I can't actually do anything. Okay, let's see. Do we have any disruption? I mean, they whack me for 1. Then Invoker. Can they use this thing? Like, it costs... The ability costs 4 right now, so they can't use it next turn exactly. Unless they mill something. Oh, okay, that's not good. Alright. Well, game 1 I just lost because I got a bad draw. Lions Vanguard, yeah. Well, they at least don't have Clawing Shaman in the yard, right? You can still get back Lions Vanguard and whack me for a bunch, I guess. Excellent Scavenger. Well, there's Clawing Shaman, and that's enough mana to activate it, right? Have I just lost? Oh, it's tapped? Wait, oh. Right, they're tapping it. Okay, fine. I mean, I guess that's not a very good showing for... Not a very good first showing for the deck. Am I just dead? Like, I have to assume I'm just dead here, right? Yeah, fine. They got me. Or no, they didn't get me. My deck got me because I've had to mulligan down to 4 and got nothing. Anyways, what do I even bring in? I have my single graveyard hate card. That's kind of it, I guess. Is Meteor Harbinger any good? No, not really. Master Negotiator at least steals one of their guys. I guess it's worth bringing in. Aether Road also steals their guy. Maybe it's worth bringing in. Yeah. They cut Pronouncers because they're the worst card in the deck or something. I cut Fitting Oracles, I think. Yeah, I'll try doing this. And let's see. Well, I mean, at least I get a turn 3 Conjure. That's worth something at least, right? Does turn 3 Conjure get me any chains? I can Conjure Lurk the Pronouncer into Kyone. That doesn't get me anywhere. I think I keep it anyways because I don't want to go any lower. Actually, do I just start by cycling straight along? Because I probably want it in the yard so I can free cast it with Kyone. Well, if I'm gonna turn 1 cycle Trillone, then I need to fetch a blue source, which means I lose a lot of life, so I don't want to do that. Can I do basic? No, I can't really afford to go basics, I think. Mysterious Cataract needs to... yeah, I don't have Pristine Dominion, so I need to use this to fetch my blue source. In that case, yeah, no point in playing it untapped. Next time I just play Wayfarer's Shrine, fetch a forest. Alright, they play Wayfarer's Shrine, and they mill themselves. They already have Clawing Shaman in yard. Well, actually, I know what to... Yeah, I can Lurk Pronouncer into Clement Blackburn, so that way I get rid of their graveyard. Alright, Mysterious Character now. I guess that's fetching Pristine Dominion. Or maybe a basic so I don't take so much off Rampant Summit. Well, anyways, this turn, I'm going to fetch Forest, and then fetch, Lustral Oasis, and then Pronouncer Preserves, so I can ramp out my Conjure Realities next turn. And yeah, pass. I mean, if I manage to lurk into Glimmer Black Rune, at least it'll be funny, because hopefully they stock up their graveyard super hard before that happens. They can really wreck them. Okay, seems like they're going for it. How many Clawing Shamans do they even have in their deck? Because if I get rid of all of their Clawing Shamans, then that'd be nice. They have 4. Okay, never mind. They're playing 4 of every combo creature. Nothing super important yet, though. Please mill some more. Unless they have Cosmic Sinkhole. Do they have Cosmic in the board? No. Yeah, they have no interaction at all in the deck. So are they going to mill some more? Sure. Hopefully this discards something important. Ooh, Clawing Shaman. Okay, 2 Clawing Shamans now. Nice. Let's see, Mana Acidic. Well, I mean, I just go with my normal play. Will I ever need black in the future? Maybe. How much is saving 1 life worth? Not being able to fetch black later on. I mean, the thing is, I have to... Oh, 1, 2, 3... Okay, yeah. I won't have 5 mana next turn, so it doesn't really matter what I do. I think it's probably my best interest not to screw myself over. Mana Acidic can make black anyways. Yeah, I'll go with Rampant Summit first. So anyways, Conjure Realities. I can actually just actually, yeah, I can just conjure for Glimmer Black Rune instead of going for the Lurk plan. But going for Lurk lets me put a Lurk in the yard. Is that worth? Yeah, it probably is, because again, Lurk's in the yard. That means now Kyone and Fire True Seeker are alive. And I don't really need the Pronouncer to stick around. So yeah, just gonna do this to get Lurk in the yard. And where's Black Rune? There you go. Anyways, there's your bye-bye graveyard. Unfortunately, that means next turn I have to play Massa, because I can't play a Fading Oracle right away. Is it? Okay, it lets me cast creatures, right? Right, sure. Okay, yeah, that's why I need to fetch black. Yeah, that makes sense. I can cast these guys. Actually, next turn I can Denise or Mech Bruiser. Huh, that's nice. So now I just pass. If things go badly, then my plan is to sack Limit Black Rune and then get her back so that I, with one of the Insiders, so I can exile Herzi's graveyard yet again. And their own Mech Bruiser, that's only a wimpy 2/3. Hilarious. Alright, so I can't fetch for a basic and then also get black off Nomad Outpost. I should probably fetch basic this turn, right? I don't want to mill myself because I don't actually benefit from mill. In fact, I want cards in my deck so I can grab them with selective breeding. What am I doing this turn? Maybe just Mech Bruiser plus Mana Ascetic and then play Timber Range tapped. Does that sound right? Yeah, I mean, I'm just building up towards Fading Oracle, I guess. And Peasant Scavenger mills me, but keeps back the Nether Mech Bruiser. Way better than my own Nether Mech Bruiser, probably. I don't think I want to mill myself, so I'll just start with the Nether Mech Bruiser plus Mana Ascetic and play Timber Range tapped. Does that save me more life in the long run? Maybe. Actually, Mana Ascetic, Nether Mech Bruiser, Stray Long. And that's my third spell, right? Yeah, so I get Free Drake. I guess that's probably good enough. So Timber Range, Fetch Forest, Mana Ascetic, Denither Mech Bruiser, and Raylong Technique. Third spell, get the Drake, draw a card, Ancestral Council. Nice. And I guess that's probably my turn then. Nothing worth attacking with, right? I can't attack with Glimmer Black Rune. Does that get me anything? Yeah, lets me, yeah, Glimmer back. And, like, I don't think Herzi wants to block this thing, because they know that if they block this, then Glimmer dies and I get to bring it back eventually. I'm just getting free damage in by doing this. Okay, sure. You may guess. Oops. And these guys are all still exiled, so... And also by doing this, now the Denither Mech Bruiser gets the buff. And now Herzi can't attack through my Denither Mech Bruiser. So, looks like it's a pretty good game for me. Next turn I get the Fading Oracle Ancestral Council, maybe? Fading Oracle bound Ancestral Council. I still have 1 mana left, so Ancestral fetches Selective Breeding. What does Breeding get me? Breeding the Fading Oracle lets me go down to Insider. Insider brings back Lemma. That sounds fun. Exile their graveyard yet again. Actually, the Drake will be able to clock them down. Temporal Resuscitation. Where are they getting back? Oh, they can do that. Huh. Yeah, they can do that. Huh. I didn't realize that. And that's actually really bad for me, because my Frailing Technique is gone. I only lost a Pronouncer and a Lurk. But yeah, not great for me. So now I can't do that play where I get Glimmer back and exile Herzi's yard yet again. That's pretty problematic. Yeah, and Fire True Seeker is kind of useless now. Well, the good news is they're probably out of ways to... does this exile? No, it doesn't. Okay. So I'll get this back eventually. In fact, is there a way for me to kill this thing? No, because my main deck has 0 interaction. Yeah, so yeah, right now best play is probably a Fading Oracle and Ancestral Lurk, or I mean Beckon. Gideon, Ancestral, Beckon, Ancestral? I mean, I can Beckon the Fading Oracle, but then I have nothing else to get back with Insider, right? Alternatively, I can Ancestral Lurk. That's probably better. So Ancestral Lurk, I have my Fire True Seeker in hand, so that's not great. I can get Kyoro somehow, and then, I mean, Kyoro starts stealing from their graveyard. I can Temporal Resuscitation something from their yard. I mean, that's funny, I guess, but it's not particularly good. But yeah, I think any sort of line starts with Ancestral Lurk. They're better 4-drop to Lurk into. I mean, Lurk, Insider, like how fast do I have to go? Alright, this thing should be reset. I think I'm fine as long as I stay ahead on board, because the Drake is clocking in, so I just have to not use horribly. Anyways, that's fetching Nomad Outpost, right? Or Nomad Township, yeah, that's what it's called. And then Ancestral Council Lurk. Wait, did I already play a land this turn? Right. Okay, so 6 mana this turn. That means I can get Beckon afterwards. Interesting. Or I mean, selective breeding. I can Ancestral, and then once I bring Ancestral back, I can breeding it. Okay, yeah, that sounds fun. So I need to... So Ancestral Council fetches what lurks beyond. Lurk the Ancestral Council. Find Insider of Spirit Scorned. That's basically the only option here, right? Yep. Which brings back Ancestral Council, which fetches Selective Breeding. And now Breeding Council for something. What Swarm count am I at? I guess my Swarm count doesn't matter at this point, because my graveyard's kind of gone right now. So I can Selective Ancestral into Ione, which lets me go up to 5-drop. I mean, yeah, I'll just go for it now. I don't want to think too much. I mean, it has to be Ione here, right? There's no other option that's, like, not horrible. Yeah. So now, this is interesting because, like, I don't want to lurk here, right? I lurk Ione into, or I lurk Insider into Ophidian Oracle, which gets back Fire True Seeker on Selective Breeding. Does that do anything? Selective Breeding Fire True Seeker into something of the China of the Iris. I mean, Speaker of the Iris. That too much thinking. Okay, so I know I have to lurk here. Yeah, the question is, which one do I lurk? Do I lurk into a 5-drop, or I guess if I lurk again, I can lurk into another Insider, so that gets my board wider. Insider brings back Kyone yet again, and Kyone gets to Selective Breeding itself, but then I end up with the fire. So much thinking. Kyoro, right? Kyoro, like Ophidian Oracle, Fire True Seeker, Selective. I can't get Kyoro if I. Well, I mean, Kyoro is good because it starts eating up from their graveyard, right? So I should just do that instead of whatever I'm doing right now. Like, what am I doing right now? I think I get Kyoro. So where's Kyoro? And then the Temporal Resuscitation can bring back. Oh, it's from Grave. Okay, wonderful. I can just steal Temporal Resuscitation, bring back my own Insider yet again, and get another go at Ancestral Council. So Insider brings back Ancestral Council again, which gets me another go. I'll get another Lurk. Lurk's better right now. It goes wider. And I guess that's my turn. Those guys both have haste, right? So I can just whack them, and they get blocked, but whatever. There's no point in... Actually, no, Kyone... Does Kyone have... Is Kyone Insider right now, or did I... It's not. Okay. Yeah, so these guys are attacking. Do I also attack with an Insider? Sure. So let's see how they block. I mean, Insider's definitely trading with something. Okay, they're just gonna trade with it. Do they... Okay, yeah. Alright. And that's to be expected. But now I have a Kyora in play, and that thing's gonna keep eating stuff up. Or eating stuff up from the graveyard. Oh, actually, Insider... Right, Insider is dead now, so I don't have to worry about Temporal Resuscitation counters. So now next turn I get to Ophidian Oracle into Fire True Seeker into Lurk, and that gets me a Layer in Alpha. That probably wins the game. Maybe I should have just gone for Layer in Alpha, right? Can I have gone for Layer in Alpha? I'm not sure. This deck's too complicated to think about. I mean, they can still win if they get Alliance Vanguard plus Clawing Shaman off. And they can't block Kyoro, right? So yeah, that thing's gonna be exiling something each turn. I mean, they can't swing in, but I'm pretty happy with just trumping Denethor if it gets too big, and then trading Denethor for Glimma. Because that means I get to bring Glimma back eventually off one of the Insiders. I can't get into Insider. I'm pretty sure I can. Ophidian, True Seeker, Breeding, Lurk. Yeah, that doesn't do it. Temporal Resuscitation, Leonite Invoker. Sure. I mean, you can mill yourself all you want, but you can't activate it right away, right? So I'm not that worried. Okay, there's Lion's Vanguard. I'm probably just exiling Temporal Resuscitation with Kyoro, because that sounds like a fun thing to cast for free. In fact, I can Temporal Resuscitation Lion's Vanguard, just so that I don't have to worry about them Lions Vanguarding me. They play Pronouncer, sure. So Ophidian Oracle Lurk into Layer in Alpha. Maybe that's just the play. Because Fire True Seeker, like, Selective Breeding doesn't get me anywhere, right? Or I can go into... If I draw a land, I can Ophidian Oracle and Lurk, I guess. Mana Ascetic. Okay, so that doesn't change my play at all. I have 6 mana, which means I can Fire True Seeker, go into Aether Road Caravan, and steal something. I wouldn't mind stealing the Layer Line Invoker, because that prevents any funny stuff from happening. Or Fire True Seeker, Aether Road Caravan, steal something. Let me check my sideboard just to make sure I brought in Aether Road. Oh, I didn't. Well, if I have a 2-drop, I can go into Master Negotiator and steal their Leonite Invoker that way. Is that doable? No. Actually, I can Temporal Resuscitation. Basically, yeah, I have Kyone. So Kyone, or I have Ancestral Council, which can grab Selective Breeding, which goes into Master Negotiator, which steals their Leia Invoker. So Kyora by itself will be able to steal the Leia Line Invoker. So then my other play should just be to get as much damage on board as possible, and that's Ophidian Oracle plus Lurk, right? Ophidian Oracle plus Lurk, and then I get to Mana Ascetic afterwards. I should do it now because that way it gets Layer and Alpha on board, so that means my board's insane. Yeah, seems solid. Ophidian Oracle, draw a card, Selective Breeding. Interesting. Well, I'm still going to stick with my original plan, which is An Oracle into, where's Leyline Alpha? There's Leyline Alpha. Actually, now Kaiora can get back Lurk. And if I have a 4-drop, I can Lurk into Temporal Resuscitation on Insider, which gets back Kyone, which gets back Lurk, which gets back Amphibian Oracle, which gets back True Seeker on Selective Breeding. Yeah, sure, I'll. Any point attacking with the Wolves? Not really, they're just here for chumping. Anyways, attack with these guys, grab Temporal Resuscitation. Any blocks? They take. Wonderful, so these guys get bigger due to Leyline Alpha. And now with Temporal Resuscitation, I'm going to bring back Insider of Spirit Scorned, which brings back Kyone, which brings back Lurk, which I can Lurk into Amphibian Oracle, which draws me a card. Wait, I get to just abound this Insider. That's cool. Then abound Insider. Insider brings back Ancestral Council, which grabs me a Selective Reading. Wait, what? Oh dear, did I make a rules misplay? Okay, so where do I go back to? Okay, yeah, I just misread. Okay, wonderful. Which grabs me a Selective Reading. Do I want to Lurk or a Selective Reading? I'll grab a Selective Reading. So then breeding Ancestral Council into Master Negotiator off this guy. And where's Master Negotiator? Here's Master Negotiator, and I'll steal your Leyline Invoker so you don't get to do or reanimate anything next turn. And I guess that's my turn. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see. What do I have to just... It only dies, right? Because, yeah, I got Insidered. So, I'm glad to tell you that the deck can still do 8-sack stuff. I mean, it's no longer as flexible, but it is still as explosive, and the chains are just as complicated. I guess not having Beck in the Pack means you can't go down and chain, so, like, Beck in the Pack is responsible for making the chains last longer because you can actually split stuff. Like, you can make the chains... Well, anyways, I'm bringing an 8-year-old Caravan now, and I'll shave another Pronouncer. Anyways, that was fun, I guess. Let's see if I can do this again in Game 3. Slow hand. Do I keep? If I mulligan down, what's the worst that can happen? And if I keep, what's the worst that can happen? You go off on turn 3 and I have no response, and yeah, I can't really afford to do that, right? So I have to mulligan. Sure. So I'll bottom Mysterious Counteract, yes. Grim Bastion's fetching me Pristine Dominion, and then... Alright, this is not good, because if they have any sort of reanimation, then I can't stop them. Maybe I just hardcast this thing. Yeah. That I can't because I don't have the right mana sources. Darn. Alright, Grim Bastion tapped or tapped. Tapped. I'm just hoping they don't go off on turn 3, because if they don't go off on turn 3, I can Sanjing and then... Oh dear. Oh dear. Alright, I need a response. Well, that's one way to cast Glimma. So yeah, I just have to hope they don't go off next turn, and then I Glimma Black Rune them. If they have been a mill card, then I just lose, right? Yeah, unfortunate. I need to remember to fetch Pristine Dominion end of turn, or else I just lose. Maybe I should have brought in removal. Yeah, why did I not bring in removal this game? I could have killed Leia Invokers. Did I just... Fine. I just lost, right? 5 things, yeah. I guess that's the problem with playing a slow deck, or a slow combo deck. The fast combo deck just has to combo before you do. Maybe it's not a complete loss, like, do they have lethal? It's May, okay, yeah, they probably have lethal. And if they don't, then I don't know what they're doing. They get to mill again, and then they get to reanimate Lion's Vanguard. I'm assuming this is their mill again thing. Withering Husk, yeah, sure. Anything Mech Bruiser too? Oof. So I probably should have hard mulligan for something. I don't have anything that can actually stop them though, right? Apart from removal spells. Yeah, sure, brought in removal spells. Just to prevent their turn 3 from happening. Actually, they could have turn 3 the Temporal Resuscitation anyways. Yeah, there was nothing I could do against this. I even had the ability to hardcast Glimma, so yeah. I think the only thing I could have done against it is Claw or Mana Ascetic into Glimma turn 2. Is this lethal? I mean, it has to be lethal, right? ETBs, sure. Oh yeah, they're gonna Fallen Shaman again, but they mill no creatures. Nice. I mean, they get what they get back Lina Invoker. That's their only thing that they can get back. And now they're milling all non-creatures. See, why couldn't they mill this during off their first mill? Because then that would give me enough time to slam Glow and Black Rune and stop them from doing this. But yeah, I'm dead. Alright, so I lost round 1. I mean, I'm not expecting this deck to go super far, so... Because the deck actually isn't that good. It's a slow combo deck that gets hated out by basically anything. But yeah, game 2 was hilarious, I agree. I also tanked a lot during that game. Anyways, that's my round 1, so yeah.